welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and The Last of Us Episode 9, the finale of The Last of Us, is out on HBO Max right now. It's been great 9 weeks of The Last of Us. You guys have been loving the series, and we hit 400 subscribers on the channel, which is awesome, so thank you guys for the support on that. So just thank you overall for the support on the series, other series, and sticking around for and being a part of the channel. That's really great, and that's awesome. But yeah, it's sad to say that this series is coming to end, because I had a lot of fun with this series. Weekly uploads talking about The Last of Us, giving my thoughts. But this will contain spoilers if you guys are new and haven't been part of this. I will have a season review later on this week. So if you guys want to get my full-on thoughts on the season without any spoilers, you join the channel and wait for that. Or if you don't care, you can just wait for watch this video, because I'm going to kind of get sort of my season thoughts on this in this video, since it's the finale. But yeah, it will contain spoilers. You are warned. Let's get right into the review. I think this is the worst episode of The Last of Us ever. Throughout the whole entire season, I think this is the worst episode, because this one is the most laziest episode out of all of them. Now, is it still a good episode? Yes, there's definitely good parts in this episode. The dialogue written for Joel and Ellie, they're dynamic. Joel finally seeing Ellie as a daughter figure, and Ellie seeing Joel as a father figure is portrayed very well. But they cut out so much in this episode that should have been in here. This should have been, for one, an hour-long episode. This is a 40-minute episode. Shouldn't have been. This one should have been an hour. There should have been more tension, but they freaking rushed through everything in this episode. This is what I was worried about, and I thought that they were taking their time throughout each episode. I thought they were going to do something. I thought they were going to, even take their time with the finale. But no, they literally just shrunk it down for some odd reason. It pisses me off that there is no tension. There is legit no tension, and it's not until later on into the season where I figured that. I started realizing there's not really that much infected. It's kind of strange for a show that takes place in a zombie apocalypse. There is no infected. There's no zombies, really. So what's the whole point of this season? What's the point of this series if they're not really that big of a danger or big of a threat? Because the whole point of this season is to get Ellie to point A to point B to get a cure. That's the whole point of the That's the whole point. And now I get if you know that they back out. They kind of say screw that. I'd rather live in this dangerous world and care for someone than letting you there's all of that drama. But it's the struggle that they go through isn't here, because it shows even more here that they take out a segment making everything stupid. That is oh, how convenient this, how convenient that. We'll get to that point later on, but let's just talk about, I guess, the opening. One of the things that I was oh, okay, this is interesting. What does it add? Nothing really. So Ashley, who plays Ellie in the video game, plays here as Ellie's mom. I forget her mom. I forget the character's name that she's playing as. But this is kind of the origins of how Ellie is immune to the infection, because before she was birthed, Ellie's mom got bit, and so that kind of sort of gives the answer of oh, okay, so you have to be sort of pregnant and in labor to be immune to the infection. First of all, that's fucking stupid. I mean, cause imagine people knowing this for once. Oh, so let's just get this pregnant lady over here. Let's get her. Hey, you're about to give birth, all right? Here, get bit real quick and pop that baby out. That is dumb. I don't like that. I like the mystery of Ellie is this random person, this random kid that has happened to be immune to it. But no, it's because she was basically infected since birth. and it's just that's dumb. Like I like the mystery of it, and it didn't really add anything to the story. It legit doesn't add anything at all. It's just like now we know the knowledge of how she is immune, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. It just like, because it ends with the fireflies, where the cure does technically end with, but it's just like the knowledge of knowing that makes no sense, or it doesn't make no sense. Is that it just doesn't add anything. So that itself is kind of like the first sign of like, oh no, this episode's not. Oh gosh, this might be the like weakest episode out of all of them. It's still a good episode, just the weakest one. But we pick up with Ellie and Joel after she had a little encounter with a rapist, a cannibal rapist, to make that even more clear. Yeah. So we do the whole draft moment, which every moment that the show has done, I like better in the game. And it's not just like, of course everything's better in the game. It's just that it feels rushed. There's some moments that in the show that I like more than the game. Like I like the opening. I like the first episode more than the game's opening, because the first episode we see everything build up to what happens, and then I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that. That's something I actually do like, and this is just one of the things that I've just been pointing out throughout the whole entire season, is that they feel like they've been rushing through certain things. Like they rush through this draft scene where it's a very emotional scene in the game, and it's like, all right, we got that scene done. Moving on to this. Now guys are on patrol. And they're part of the fireflies. Smoke bomb. Instead of like, hey, or it's like they instantly just like throw these smoke bombs at these two random people. One of them is a kid. So those two are fucking idiots if they think they're in, like, those people are in danger or anything. It's like, the writing here is stupid. In the game, it makes more sense of what happened, and it's just like, because in the game that they run into these infected, and they are in this tight situation where they're basically almost drowning and dying, and so they're barely making it out alive, and actually catch the guards and the people that they get captured with off guard, because everything was happening so fast. But here it's like they walk upon them and they just like instantly throw a smoke bomb at them instead of saying, hey, drop your weapon or anything, which anybody would fucking say in this calm situation. It's just like the intensity just suddenly just jumped to 100 for no reason. And the one part I was looking for the show is like, okay, how are they going to do the hospital scene where Joel is going around killing all the fireflies? I like the build up to it. It was like, okay, you know what, this looks exactly like the game, and this is, perfectly done. I like that. But they fucking fast forward through Joel murdering every firefly in the fucking hospital. It's literally a montage of deaths, which could have been cool, but it was cool, but it could have been even more better if it was a struggle. If this whole entire episode was Joel trying to get to Ellie. And we see Joel go through that struggle to fight for something. Here it's just like it's just like no struggle at all throughout this whole entire episode. And looking at that, like, there is no struggle throughout this whole entire season, and it pisses me off that there is no tension. There is no tension. The first two episodes, great tension, great build up. After that, it's just like, there's a couple infected there and then, but it's fine. Here, it's just that, yeah, Joel's a badass. I get that Joel's a badass, but I don't think the show has done enough to make Joel a badass. Like, there's no, like me as a player, me as the person that plays as Joel, we know how badass Joel is because we're there every second. Here, we're always cutting back and forth between characters. Things happen off screen, things that we don't see, things that, Joel does off screen that we don't see, but we're supposed to say that he's a badass because the characters say that he is, or this person says that he's dangerous. You're telling and not showing, and here it's basically you are showing, but you're half-assing it. But this is supposed to be the moment like we're supposed to believe that Joel is a badass. This guy that the show has been saying that he has been too old and he's broken down and he can't move, can't do what he used to, and starting to have some like asthma attack type of deal. Are you like that? Is not the that we can't. How am I supposed to buy that this person is going around killing hundreds of fireflies when he's basically struggling to even breathe? So yeah, that was whole like that. It's cool, but it's also disappointing because I know that we could have had much better, and this could have been a drawn out episode of a battle to the just like a battle to death situations where we see Joel go through the struggle and him like struggling to even keep up, like have enough ammo or something. This could have been such a good episode in that if it was going to show that. But no, it was just music and him cutting to people killing, and it's just like, well, that's just disappointing. And so, but he saves Ellie. It pretty much plays out like how out in the game where he shoots the doctor and he has the other. In the game option, you can choose to kill all the doctors, which is kind of funny. But here, the doctors help, unattach Ellie from the machines. Joel takes Ellie away, which is another emotional thing, but it's just cuts to him in the garage. But I do, the one thing that they do is that they linger the shot on the doctor, and if you guys have played part 2, you know what that means. And so they're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen no matter what. It's just that I don't care anymore, to be honest. Like I enjoy the individual episodes, but when you think of it as a whole, they don't connect. They don't go together. They can be like a show can have great episodes, but if they don't connect together, then it's not a great show. Because you can watch like, I don't know, whatever it's the Star Wars episodes, the shorts that they did, like that's what these feel like. They each feel like their own little short episodes, but they don't have any meaning connecting, even though they're supposed to. That's what it feels like, at least. Joel and Ellie, escape. Pretty much of that just plays out how in the game where like, oh, did Joel leave Ellie? Did he give her to the fireflies? No, you see Ellie wake up and actually find out that he shoot Marlene. And Marlene knew Ellie's mom as well. That's the whole entire thing from the beginning of the episode. So that is all left on, like, that's just all like unfinished there. Because in the game, I was like, it's kind of weird that Marlene doesn't know Ellie's mom, but it's like, okay, but she does, but never once that conversation was ever brought up. Like they had a conversation. Like if you go watch episode 2, or was it episode 1? It was episode 1 or 2 when Marlene finally lets Ellie free and tells her what's going on. Like that's all happens off screen. We don't never find out is that Marlene tells Ellie that she knew her mom. Not like, but in the game we do know that Ellie knows that, but we never figure that out here. And so it's like there's stuff left up in the air that has brought up the questions that never been answered. And so, but yeah. And the game, the show ends pretty much like the game, which is cool. I mean, the performances from Pedro and Bella are great, and I love the music. Well, I mean, one of the things from the killing montage, I did enjoy the music, but besides that, I just didn't really. This episode felt weak, especially for a finale, and it felt like you just rushed through everything, and This is definitely the most disappointing episode, and I feel, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like the season as a whole, because I'm going to do my season review. So as a whole, I'm trying to think of like my rating of the season, and it's like it doesn't. And the rating that I'm thinking of doesn't go with everything that I've been giving. I give mostly every episode an A plus or A minus, besides one episode which was a B, and that was episode 4. And now this one, which is my least favorite of all, which is odd when I hate the episode 4 the most for it wasting my time with a character with Kathleen or Karen character that I don't give a shit about and that isn't executed well enough for me to care enough, who doesn't have any purpose on the show at all, making that episode even more pointless, which people could say, well, what about episode 3? I agree. Episode 3 is pointless, but it's written great. And it's a good story for like to show of the apocalypse, that you can still find love in the apocalypse. But when you think of it as a whole, that it doesn't matter since the fucking world doesn't feel dangerous. So now episode 3 pisses me off. That it's like, well, you know what, you're fine. It's nice that you have love, but the world's not dangerous besides fucking people. So, yeah. I mean, like, my ratings, I guess, can change of each episode if I'm gonna go rewatch them before I do my season review. I'm gonna watch all the episodes again. But, yeah. It's just disappointing. I'm gonna give The Last of Us episode 9, the finale, a C+. It's honestly really disappointing. And I hate to say, I might even bring down my episode 4 rating to like a C- or something. Just thinking of that, about this, because I enjoyed this one way more than that one. Because I hate episode 4 way fucking more. So I might bring that one down to a C- just to meet the level of this one. Because this one's a way better episode than that one. So it doesn't make any sense for this one to be a B, for this one this one to be a C+. So I'm gonna bring that one down to a C- and put this one as C+. Like, it's one, I can look at the season as a whole now, so I get a better, more idea of how I want to rate rate the episodes. So it's kind of hard to rate them individually, and so I'm kind of just rating them at the moment. But now, since we have a full-on season review, there's going to be a season 2, and I'll be back for that, of course. Let me know what you guys thought of the season. Did you guys enjoy the finale? Did you guys enjoy the season as a whole? Like, give me your thoughts. What would you rate the season? What would you rate the finale? Like, or what would you rate each episode by itself? Like, let's have a nice conversation. Even though I was mostly disappointed, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review series. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of this series. It's been a lot of fun. I want to do more episodes like this. We are reviewing The Mandalorian Season 3, episode by episode, so the episode reviews are still going on with that. Another Pedro Pascal series going on with that. But yeah, if there's more shows down the line that interest me, I'll probably do an episode review for those as well. So anyway, thank you guys very much for joining me on this journey. Thank you guys for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.